All right, so we've been adding and subtracting polynomials, and today we're going to start multiplying polynomials, and we're going to do that by using the distributive property. And so number 1 says 2x minus 1 times 3x plus 2. And what we're doing is we're going to take the first term in the first parentheses and multiply it by everything in the second set of parentheses. And so 2x times 3x is 6x squared, and 2x times 2 is 4x. And remember, whenever I have an x times an x, I add the exponents. That's how I get squared. And then here I keep the x. And then I also take the second term in that first parentheses and multiply it by everything in the second set as well. So negative 1 times 3x is negative 3x. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. And at this point, we look and see if we have any like terms. And if you've multiplied it in order, then usually your like terms will be put together. So I have 4x and negative 3x. So my final answer is 6x squared plus 1x, or you could just write an x, minus 2. And that's all we are doing. It's like double distributive property. So let's go over to number 2 and do the same thing. I take the 7x and I multiply it by everything. And this time there are 3 terms to multiply by. Okay, I'm going to leave some space here because I want to be able to show my distributive property on the bottom. So 7x times 3x squared is 21. X to the third power, 2 plus an invisible 1 make 3. 7x times negative 5x is negative 35x squared. And then 7x times 4 is positive 28x. And now I'm going to take the second term and I'm going to multiply by everything again. So 2 times 3x squared is 6x squared, and I'm going to line up my like terms. So I have a positive 6x squared, and then 2 times negative 5 is negative 10x, so minus 10x, and then 2 times 4 is 8, so plus 8. And at this point, I'm going to combine my like terms. So I have nothing here, which means I just bring down 21x to the third power. Negative 35 plus 6 is negative 29x squared. 28x minus 10x is positive 18x. And then I bring down my plus 8. All right, I'm going to keep going. Number 3. Again, I'm taking that first term, which is just an x, and multiplying it by everything. So I get x times x is x squared. X times 5 is positive 5x. And then I take my negative 5 and I multiply by everything. So negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And negative 5 times 5 is negative 25. And again, I'm going to add up my like terms, which are the middle terms. So I have x squared. 5x minus 5x is actually 0. It cancels out. So I have x squared minus 25. And then number 4, we have x minus 9 all squared. This really means that I have x minus 9 times x minus 9. And I encourage you to write it out twice. That way you remember to distribute everything. You can't just square the first and square the last. You won't get the correct answer. So here I have x times x and x times negative 9, which gives me x squared minus 9x. And then I have negative 9 times everything. Negative 9 times x is negative 9x. Negative 9 times negative 9 is positive 81. And now I'm going to add up my like terms. So my like terms are negative 9x. So my final answer is x squared minus 18x plus 81. And now I've kind of shown you all the different types of examples for multiplying. So you go ahead and try number 5. Okay, if you did number 5, then you should have gone x times x and x times negative 3, which gives me x squared minus 3x. And you should have done 3 times x and negative 3, which gives you positive 3x minus 9. If you add up your middle terms, they cancel out. So I have x squared minus 9. Now, one more thing I want to show you is how you can check your answer. Okay, you can check your answer using your calculator by going to a graph page where we type the question and then we press tab and we type the answer and we look for if they overlap. Okay, because if they're equivalent, then I multiplied it correctly, and this is exactly equal to this. They just look different. So I'm going to show you on the calculator. If we go to a graph, and I'm going to check number 5. I'm not changing anything. I'm just going to start typing right here. Parentheses, x plus 3, parentheses, x minus 3, enter. And I have a parabola, which was what we're going to start talking about here soon. And then if I press tab and I type in my answer, which is x to the second power minus 9, they overlap. To further verify that they overlap, if I press Control T and I look at the table, my tables match up. Okay? All right, you try 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.